Caner Universe, it's Caner Tip Tuesday with Sobrevivencia, Fall Cane Immersion 2023 around the corner. I'm going to share with you some principles. Today we're doing the Zoom. Those of you that are members of Cane Self-Defense University, CSDU, we have Maestro Ruiz there so that you can pick his wise brain regarding Sobrevivencia. But today I'll share with you this little known sneaky principle of suppression, and I'll elaborate on that. But before we jump into that, if you like the content, a reminder to hit the subscribe button, turn on your notifications so you don't miss any future content. And you have two free resources. One of them is the call. Avail yourself of that, and also go into the, if you're on Facebook, we have a group called Cane Flow. You'll request entry, they'll let you right in. Those of you that have worked with Maestro Ruiz here at the different immersions, and you've served him, you know, you attack him, he asks you to attack him, and then if we interview you after that, it sounds something along the lines of, hey, I aimed for him, you know, he wasn't there. Next thing I know is he's, you know, either countering me with a strike or he's in. But the point is, it's not just that. If you're paying attention and you're listening to those who have worked with him, they'll say things like, I was going to do my next move, he doesn't allow me, I feel trapped. I feel like I'm gonna counter, but I'm locked up. I just can't, or you know, I don't have the balance anymore. I can't recover from that. So it's very interesting the way he does that. And I'm gonna share with you one component of it, and if you focus on this one component, you're going to do great, in particular when you do an empty hand translation. Sobrevivencia has the empty hand translations as well as ACSD, and I feel this is timely because there's many of you doing the ACSD course. I want to open your eyes to this. By the way, I'm using a cane. Vanessa's with a stick. You're going to always find something like this at Sobrevivencia trainings, because it was based on defending against an impact tool and multiple assailants. But I want to show you this. You may be already familiar with the concept of she comes in here and then we're moving in, and if that of course comes down, we're not there for it, but you're stopping the movement before she even gets there. It doesn't matter whether it's something like this. Maestro Ruiz, you hear him talk about the strike that he cares most about is targeting the limb, which is congruent with ACSD. If you take out the limb, you win. Taking this out, notice it here, it's an impact tool and it's on the hand, so maybe with a follow-up strike that you know, like so much there, or whether it's something like this and taking out, come in again, anything where that strike is committed and there's not much. And by the way, doesn't matter what you have on hand. So this is a walking stick. They all work exactly, boom, the same way there. There is a connection point, and when you strike here and you get to move, and he's very much about controlling what happens on the limb. What about when you don't have that cane? How does that work? And so I want to show you this. Let's do it. You can do it. Let's just do it empty hand so they can see now. And then we'll put in a tool and show you how that works. Yeah, it's this concept here. If you look at the movement in Sobrevivencia, I want you to take a look at this so that you see movements that happen from here. See how it comes from down up? That's very common, and then there's a spiraling that moves in. I want you to take a look. The shape of the hand when you're coming up, it's between the web of the thumb and the index finger. So you get something like that. You're stopping something that's coming at you, and you're stopping it above the elbow, or at the level of the elbow. So an anatomical position above the elbow means it's up here. The problem with stopping anything here is that she can still bend at the elbow and snap out of there and come through with the attack. She can still roll out of that, so to speak. But when you come in and you stop here, this just doesn't get to you, even if you put a tool in there. So she has a knife and she's coming in, that's not going to get to me. If it's coming in from this angle, same thing, extend, it's not going to happen. If you do the same thing, so you're moving here with the cane, with a stick, doesn't matter. Here's a stick and you're doing this. Same thing when you're coming off the other side. Look at the web of the thumb and the index finger, and the movement comes up in here. Same thing when she's coming in. You get to stop that in here. If you can control here, now she's jammed. And so the area that you're controlling and the contact point is, if you're focusing on the elbow, what it does again is it suppresses a counter. She's done there. She's going to come in here. She's done, because now you can go ahead and move into whatever it is that you're going to do. So the first component is that you're focusing. The first thing it does is it suppresses. In this case, it means that it stops the movement. It doesn't allow it to continue or to counter. And the second the second component that allows you to do is to follow up. So put it away. So that now if you're dealing, and I want you to take a look at this, because this is so, the same way you do this with the cane and you're in here, I don't have to be so focused on stopping here at the wrist or doing anything. If I'm just moving, and see, I'm not making contact yet, but look at where the elbow is lined up with my center. Now I can lock from here. Now I can move. So I love the fact that I don't have to be so perfect about this. My center moves out of the way. I have a connection point. There it is again. There's the elbow. Now I can go ahead and follow up. The other component that allows you to do is to link. This is something that I mentioned today in the Empty Hand course, and that is that it allows me, once I'm over here at the point of the elbow, I can go ahead and link with a variety of applications, all stemming from here, right? From that one point. So it gives you versatility, because combat obviously is dynamic, and that should give you a different perspective when you're seeing these movements. They're built in, right? This here looks very simple. Remember, with the cane, taking advantage of the fact that it's a impact tool, it's seeking bone. He wants to destroy this, because if he destroys this, then how are you going to attack? And the reason for it, could we strike the head? Sure, we could. But the reason is because Sobrevivencia is all about finding a solution to restore harmony while doing the minimal amount of damage, the least possible damage. And you've heard me say this before. People ask, is a martial art, an exercise system, philosophy, all that? He has said himself, Maestro Ruiz says, hey, it's none of those things, but it's all of those things. And it doesn't attract individuals that are inclined for violence, right? If you don't have respect for the sanctity of life, this is probably, I can tell you it's not for you, right? It's not going to attract you. So best way to learn it is you have a unique opportunity to learn it here in Miami in September. There's still time, and there's a spot remaining, September 19th through the 22nd. I am convinced that whoever that is, I don't know, I'm very intrigued by it. I know that they're going to benefit tremendously for it. I just know this. But listen, before you do any of that, avail yourself of that no-cost call. Text the letter CCC. It stands for Cane Clarity Call. Text it to 305-745-7839. In less than 24 hours, we'll be on a call. And if not, coming down to Miami for Sobrevivencia, answering all your questions on how you can get trained wherever you are in the world. That's what we do with ACSD, and answer all your questions. Doesn't matter if you're brand new and you're seeing this for the first time, or you're an experienced instructor in other arts. A lot of instructors coming in, getting trained with their sights set on becoming an ACSD coach, and there is a process and a method for that. I'm Joe Robaina for American Cane Self-Defense and Sobrevivencia. Thanks for watching. Keep caning. Stay safe.